Just a second. Okay, so we are live now. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Casual Lorecast 24.
24.
We've done this 23 times. Now we're doing it 24th. How crazy is that? Normally we don't do any introduction or anything. I mean, it's a casual Lorecast for a reason. But I am Andrew, also known as the White Guar. We've got Johnny in whichever direction. We've got Matt. We've got Athos Malevolent from the Dream Sleep Discord channel, and we've got Ultima, who I think is Ultima is Ultima in the Discord channel. Okay.
But we have yet to hear from them yet.
Yeah. We've heard nothing. Silence. It's like some wind.
Right.
And stuff. So
I'm gonna crack a beer myself. One moment.
Let's go ahead and get started. This is also called the beer cast too, because I always have a beer.
Gotta get it down.
Oh yeah. Ethos, you wanted to talk about Elsewhere, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, take it away.
Yeah. I've been wondering if you've been seeing any sort of patterns lately with the way they've depicted the Alfiq in the new update for ESO. I know that we're supposed to know that they're very highly magical. I wanted to know if they were almost near maybe superhuman in a sense, or if they were still just considered like maybe at the same level as, your standard everyday mage. What do you think's going on with that?
So there's a few things that are going on with the Alfiq. Initially, in prior books and things, we've been led to believe that the Alfiq are nonverbal. They're house cats, but they're intelligent and they have the ability to do magic. That's pretty much as much information as we've ever had about them. So we know
that they can talk.
Yeah, we know that they can talk. I believe there was some footage, or maybe it was at PAX East or something.
Oh, really?
You met an Alfiq. I haven't seen the footage myself. I've just kind of heard this through.
He didn't have a voice actor yet, so his voice was a text, a robot.
Yeah, a robot. So I mean that's really as much as we know. I mean, I would imagine that the variance in how much magic an Alfiq could perform would be, about the same standard deviation that a normal person could do. I mean, maybe they'd be more skilled at something like illusion magic or something along those lines, due to size or because maybe the smaller they are, the easier it would be for them to hide or something. I don't know. But I'd love to see, I doubt we're going to get it, but I'd love to see an Alfiq in combat in ESO. That would be really interesting to see. What's that, man?
Maybe an NPC for a quest or two.
Yeah.
I bet we will. I'm giving them a little faith.
Oh, I hope so. And I know there's also the was it the Senjay Rot? Those the huge ones.
Yep, that's a mount you can get too.
Yeah. Because those.
I hope we get I've been wanting to see maybe them try and experiment with some kind of enemy to portray the Ohms Rot. That'd be kind of cool. Or Ohms, just all they would have to do is retexture the Bosmer, of course. So we know it's not going to be a very we know it's going to be likely a cost-effective race to put in there for some kind of enemy type or whatever. And I think that's just cool. If we open up the sub-races of the Khajiit, we can also open up, other ideas of the other races, and we can start just working on expanding the cultural aspects of the series. I feel like that's where its strengths lie.
No, that's something I hadn't thought of, was that the Ohms Rot, and because they do look very elven. And I think it's just the Ohms who look the most elven.
The Ohms look like Bosmer.
Yeah.
The Ohms Rat look like Bosmer with cat ears.
Oh, okay. So they're cat girls. Okay.
Yeah, but don't they also tattoo their face? Don't they tattoo or use war paint to look like cats?
Yeah. In a lot of cases.
No, that's the Almes. The Almes have no cat features whatsoever, so they use face paint.
Yeah,
right.
I imagine
Which will be cool.
Tribal tattooing or something. Which I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to
There
create.
is an Almes character. Hey.
Oh, there's a kitty cat, Khajiit.
Yeah. I
there
mean, yeah,
there is an Almes character in the Inferno City.
Oh, is there? Oh,
yes.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Ethos is absolutely right. It would be really easy to implement Omes rot or Omes for stocks, because you just have to retexture the Bosmer a little bit, use the same sliders for build and everything, maybe add a couple facial features, which they do by the month anyway through crown crates and things.
It'd be an easy
also,
cosmetic
people would
add-on.
be crazy for Omen Rat on Crown Store and whatnot.
Yeah.
Put it on the Crown Store and anybody could even look like one, just a tail accessory and a face accessory are all you would essentially need.
Yeah.
Hey, Ethos, I was just going to say I actually did write a thing on Khajiit phenotypes, which is like the first stocks from an Imperial scholar's perspective, which is actually going to be in the next Telmora press. So you can look forward to that.
Interview.
Yeah, same one, but it's actually a little more edited now. But yeah, for Ethos and other people who don't know really, it covers one part of might be saying it wrong, Cathay Rot, and then Elfique talking with body language and with I kind of explored the idea of like Khajiit understanding each other through like tonal frequencies that only they can pick up with their special Khajiit ears, and also just body language like animals communicate with each other.
Oh, that's
interesting.
You know what that makes me think of, Johnny? Not to interrupt you.
No worries.
Has anyone ever read Ender's Game and the other the Ender series by Orson Scott Card?
No, but I know about it. I know what it's about.
Yeah, so the whole point of the story is this little boy. He's brilliant. He's an amazing tactician. He's got to be like 10, but he's a genius. He basically leads the human army against this race of aliens, and effectively destroys them. And then he finds out later that these aliens they effectively use telepathy to communicate, and we weren't responding. They also operate on a hive mind. The queen is the only individual in the whole in that whole species, and so all the other drones are just they're like fingernails. They're pretty much useless. So the queen, since they didn't respond telepathically, the queen assumes that the humans were just like the drones, right? And is killing humans left and right, because how would she know better? And then she realizes later on, oh, these were individual people like me. And suddenly, it changes the whole scope and the whole attitude of everything that you've just read.
It's all about perspective for sure.
So for the Alfique being that they communicating through some kind of special frequency, I imagine that would kind of give them a sort of arrogance, because these other races they don't operate on that frequency.
I feel like they would work well smug though. Everybody loves Salem, right? Everybody's seen Sabrina. You've seen his sassy memes. Everybody shares them.
Hey, here's my butthole. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully my idea doesn't get too retconned when Ellsworth comes out and they're all just speaking Cyrodiilic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wrote an Alfique. Oh, I don't think I actually published it yet. I wrote a piece for Beyond Skyrim Elsewhere that I was going to have in there, but I was really only doing that to help Michael Ziegler out, who was the writing lead at the time, and he's since left the project, and so now I feel like I have no reason to hold my work for this project that's really spinning its tires. But in it there is an Alfiq, and he's mute because that was how I had imagined Alfiq. But she communicates with this other Khajiit in some manner, and this other Khajiit, his name is Tajir, I think is his name, which I basically took the word thief in Arabic and Khajiitified it.
Yeah.
And so
it could translate for them.
Yeah. So he could, So, but the Alfiq was like this merchant lord.
Of course.
I kind of imagined her like a Siamese house cat. Just
they're so noisy. They always meow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So just baggy, wrinkly fur, big eyes, but they have the sort of.
No, I don't know. Isn't there like a house cat in called Captain?
Is there a house cat called what?
Or something.
You're cut out there.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Has Nexurus talked yet?
Oh, that's Dylan. Dylan can talk if he wants. Otherwise, I'm not gonna. Dylan and I go way back.
It's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person just wants to hear. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. There was another thing that I thought about when you were talking, Johnny, about body language, that kind of thing. I just finished. Some may have seen me talk about it on the Discord. I finished a couple of books by Patrick Rothfuss. They're the Kingkiller Chronicle. So you've got The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear. And
I heard about these.
Yeah, there's supposed to be more books, but the guy has just lost all of his passion for the story, which is a shame because it's so good.
Damn.
And towards the end of the second book, the main character Kavoth, he ends up in this society. It's this foreign, far off, strange land, and the people don't react the same way that they do in places that he's from. He's kind of from like a Western European sort of, and it's got that kind of feel to it. But this place, they don't emote with their faces; they emote with their hands. So different gestures, may mean different emotions, and so there are subtle changes because your hand can make so many different shapes, right?
Right.
This is the most versatile piece in the human body, physically speaking. Like you can make so many different gestures with this one thing here, and so that's how they convey emotion. That's how they convey intent.
Nice.
And so,
but they do speak at the same time, though.
They do speak, but they speak quietly because they feel that the voice is something that is intimate. So, so to sing is effectively to become a prostitute. That's basically what you're doing. You are having sex with everyone, and it's that kind of scandalous to them. Now, actual sex to them, it's no big deal. It's casual. They don't care. Whatever.
So do they have a sing police the same way they used to police dancing in Ireland or something like that?
It's like a noise pollution.
Yeah, it's considered taboo. Yeah. And the main character happens to be basically a bard, and so that's really hard for him to deal with.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I knew that the main character.
Yeah, he's this like amazing musician. Yeah,
it's very creative though. That's awesome.
But yeah, the thing that I think is interesting there is that this author, Patrick Rothfuss, he found a way to create a culture that is so alien to ours, and that just at a fundamental level, our body, if I'm doing this, it shows I'm a little closed off, maybe a tad standoffish. If I'm like this, I look bored. Those don't work there, right? A smile doesn't mean the same thing. Instead, they may go, something like that, or they may rub the top of their. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. And
It's kind of like sign language combined with normal language.
Yeah, so it's just this fundamentally different way of thinking about society. Oh, well, what if our society had taken a different path? And so I'd like to see some more of that kind of creativity in fantasy, especially from ESO. Which I mean, ESO and the Elder Scrolls, Bethesda, ZeniMax, they do great all the time.
Yeah.
But
I love the cultural differences.
Yeah, just remember.
Speaking of,
yeah.
You were earlier. Your guys were joking about everyone speaking Cyrillic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the Alfiq speaking Cyrillic.
No.
And anyone here ever played Metal Gear?
A little bit, but I'm not too well versed in it. But yeah.
In Metal Gear Solid 3, there's a scene where two characters who are speaking in English to each other, one of them goes and says, "Wow, your Russian is pretty good." I just think it's fucking hilarious scene. They're supposedly speaking in Russian, but the whole dialogue is in English.
That just reminded me that Khajiit and Reaper's March sound like super Russian.
Kind of. I mean, it's almost like a. I'd almost describe it as like a Serengeti kind of accent.
There was just this one character. I think her name is Ravi or something like that. I don't know. One of the two twins that you meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we're all stoked for Ellsworth, that's for sure.
Yeah. Has anyone been doing the intro dailies, the prologue daily quests? So I think if you do 30 of them, then you get a title called the Elsewhere Strategist.
Oh, geez, I didn't even know about this.
Which is pretty cool because my main character is a strategist. Like that's what he does. Yeah. I've been trying to get the one you can get through Battlegrounds where it's just strategist, but I haven't been able to get that.
I thought it was just like a prequel quest, and then you're said and done, and you just have to wait.
Well, I mean, you do that, but then there's also daily quests that you can do, just like they did for Murkmire with repeatable stuff. And I think the Murkmire one you can still go and do.
Nice. Well, that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah.
And then I basically have to.
There's so much fucking stuff in ESO that people don't talk about.
See?
ESO is the game with most lore in terms of sheer quantity.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was totally on the train of like, oh yeah, ESO just kind of fucked the lore. But then once I started playing it, I'm like, it's actually pretty good.
Back in like 2012, literally everyone hated it. And thought it was going to ruin the series forever.
Yeah.
Just like they said about Skyrim and Oblivion.
Dylan left. He said new episode of Dragon Ball Super is out. And it's dubbed, which, I mean...
If you like them,
all right. Bye, Dylan. I see how it is.
Oh, I was actually I have a noob question to ask.
Okay.
About Dagoth. So, during Morrowind, obviously, he makes like a big comeback, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is Dagoth doing during the Elder Scrolls Online timeline?
He hasn't woken up yet.
Yeah, he technically hasn't woken up yet. He's about to wake up, and that's why there's that public dungeon in Kogarun, which was a sixth house base.
Yeah, I've actually been farming that base with my friends, just trying to get sixth house gear, and it's a lot of fun actually. But I love House Dagoth. I love Dagoth.
the sixth house is alive. Dagoth just isn't necessarily alive.
Okay, so is he like literally sleeping, like snoring?
So
He's
those
sleeping in the dream sleeve, right?
What are the
that's
implications of his sleeping?
so
He is a dead god dreaming.
the best explanation I've seen, which was on Tesla, someone explained life and death alongside wakefulness and sleeping. And so, and then, you're either dreaming or you're not. And so when you sleep, you're alive, you're asleep, and you're dreaming. When you're dead, you are dead, asleep, and dreaming, or not dreaming, I guess. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at
No, I kind of like your first line
The
there.
way
I
I
mean, you can.
understand it, the way I understand Dagothor is that Vorin Dagoth literally died,
Yeah.
and his soul went to the dream sleeve. But instead of being recycled and reincarnating, his soul went in a reverse path.
Yeah. So he's
Dream sleeve
dreaming.
diversion.
Yeah, he's dreaming from the dream sleeve back into Tamriel. Because normally when you're asleep and you're dreaming, you end up in the dream sleeve. That's where your mind goes. That's where your
So
dreams are.
that's how he's broadcasting.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
that makes
and that's
sense.
why he can't die when you kill him in Morrowind the first time. Because remember, you have to fight him twice. The first time he just kind of he poofs out of existence.
He's also
Go ahead, Matt.
he doesn't have. He's the only enemy in Morrowind that doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
He's just a dream.
Yeah. So, so he is projecting himself from the dream sleeve, and he is using the heart of Lorcan and the blight to spread his vision of
Divine
divinity.
cancer.
Yeah. And it's really interesting how, I mean, if you look at
awesome.
If you look at a lot of the design documents for Morrowind, like the sleepers and things, those like holes that they have gouged out of their faces,
and the flutes, the music imagery on their faces.
The chunks.
Great.
Yeah,
what do you?
Well, hold on. It was
yeah, of
the
course.
holes. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask, what do you think is the role of the Sharmat in the metaphor of a song?
So the Sharmat is, I mean, a couple of things. Sharmat comes from Arabic Shamat, which means the king is dead. And it's effectively checkmate in Arabic. And so
no, it means the king is trapped, which has even bigger implications.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the exact verbiage would.
It can also come from Sumerian, Samat, which means the king of the land.
Okay.
Shama.
Yeah, so I believe in the sermons, the Sharmat is described as the pawn of the aggregate.
No, that's in Nuhata.
Is that in Nuhata? I can't keep it straight sometimes.
I can, and I'm awful for it. I just need this knowledge up and forget to remember actual important stuff.
Thank you for keeping me honest. So that is described as the pawn of the aggregate in the Nuhata, or by Nuhata, because Nuhata I think is a person, right?
Yes, another counselor.
Yeah.
I think.
And so when you think about what is the aggregate? Well, an aggregate is a composite made up of many pieces. That's it's the aggregate. And so, based on a theory about Hermaeus Mora is the leftover discarded pieces of creation. He is all the little bits brought together into one aggregate. Being the Prince of Knowledge, I mean, it's hard to make a real connection between Hermaeus Mora and Dagoth just with Morrowind. But then you look at the Dragonborn expansion in Skyrim, you see a more direct connection between Hermaeus Mora and Mirak, who is also a shaman. But then you look at the Seekers.
Those fucking things.
Yep, the Seekers with the tentacles on their face. Those look an awful lot like Ascended Sleepers, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you understand the connection between water and memory and Hermaeus Mora and scrying the tides of fate, as that is something he does. There's a connection between Hermaeus Mora and water and therefore memory. In my opinion, Hermaeus Mora is seeking to reclaim creation.
Yamaoka left.
What's that?
The other guy left.
Ethos.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be back. I hope.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, yeah, I'm reading his message here.
I just had an idea about, well, I don't know, a theory. When in Morrowind you see everywhere those guys write the dreamer is awake or the sleeper is awake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they say that.
Is that referring to Dagoth Ur?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was that like them writing that down while he was still asleep?
But hold on. So
Yes.
so think of it this way. Dagoth Ur's dream, he's trying to spread it. He thinks of it as like a divinity, the divine cancer through the blight and
Which
the
is why he appears in people's dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Like mass hysteria.
Mm-hmm. And so they are in essence becoming a part of his divinity, right? They are being absorbed and they're becoming part of him, or part of the Dagoth, the primordial house Dagoth.
Right.
Because if we think about the Sharmat and his role as the pawn of the aggregate, like I was saying, the aggregate, or Hermaeus Mora, what he wants, in my opinion, is to reclaim all of the dream. He wants to reclaim all of creation. He wants to assimilate all of it because he believes it's all his anyway. It's his by right. He is the greedy man in the Aldudaga. So
knowledge is power, and he wants knowledge.
I'm pretty sure the greedy man is Lorca.
I mean, I've heard it both ways. I'm of the mind that it's Hermaeus Mora. Is constantly
he gets trapped under a mountain that's outside of time.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of that.
Wow.
Red Mountain.
Oh, I was gonna link one more thing about telepathy. There's this Dwemer mask that you could get in Elder Scrolls Online, a few of them that you could only get through the Dwemer crates, but there's like it's called like a Dwarven Visage mask or something, but it looks a lot.
Kind of looks like Dagoth Ur's mask.
Oh, it looks a hell of a lot like Dagoth Ur's mask, and it basically has telepath powers.
Yeah, it's a VR headset, basically.
Yeah.
The Dwarven Miter, are you talking about that? I actually made a character named Dagoth Khan. He's actually my Dark Elf Templar who I made to go around and spam healing on everybody and yell basically praise to House Dagoth. That's basically all I do with him.
And do you have the mask too?
Yeah, I wear the Miter. It was one of my loot crate drops.
You son of a switch.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I just go there. I get this weird black dwarven staff, and I just mess around with people's heads. I don't know.
I am very envious of you. I really want those masks.
Tell me about Dagoth.
I have one of the masks.
Anyways, I was just gonna say, Dagoth must have a similar mask. That since ESO expanded on the lore a bit, it makes sense that he's using telepathy as well to his benefit to spread his divinity.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, he's trying to spread his divinity because he's basically working at the behest of Hermaeus Mora.
Yeah, and then I guess with that being a Dwemer artifact, and we've already talked about this in previous ones where the Dwemer had some telepathic way of
That's
talking to each other. They must have been
calling.
using
Yep.
these masks as well.
And
Well,
they could have amplified their range or something. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of the specifics about the calling. Just that it was like a a race wide
Oh God. I'm back. How
telephone
long
network.
was I out?
I don't know. I don't know when you
yeah,
went.
you weren't gone too long.
Early Shaku? Or is anybody down to talk about the Ashlanders if we're still in the Morrowind vibe here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm always down for Morrowind.
Okay, so I've always said that they were definitely speaking Akkadian. We figured out from a recent Redditor that they are definitely
Yeah.
using Babylonian sentences in their terminology.
Mhm.
What is your favorite find on this stuff? Come on, let's just talk about that.
I mean, with the Ashlanders, I tend to rely on a lot of headcanon because I'm running a tabletop game set in Morrowind. Like we have a Nerevarine, we have his group that he's going with, and so they got to interact with the Ashlanders a lot. And so a lot of my stuff with the Ashlanders has to do with their cultural presentation. Because I basically have painted them as a cross between Mongolian nomadic people with their yurts and the heavy reliance on livestock, particularly horses, which in this case are guar and shalk beetles, which they herd. And then I also paint them a bit as like Native Americans. A lot of animism and their spirits here and there and everywhere.
The agriculture and architecture resemble many Native American setups, from what I see.
Yeah, the yurts for sure.
The yurts are definitely Mongolian.
Okay,
If you've ever
nomadic yurts.
Yeah, if you've ever looked into how Mongolian yurts are set up, it takes about an hour to pitch one, and they've got really really complicated architecture in the building the yurts themselves. At least in Mongolia, if you go to the steppe or whatever. And so I like to apply that kind of methodology to the to the Ashlanders. And then I also, when they speak, I like to give them kind of a Central African sort of accent.
Yeah,
and the wise woman factor. That I guess that's in a lot of cultures, but definitely a lot of nomadic tribal cultures. There's always a shaman of some sort.
Yeah, they definitely practice shamanism. Shamanism is found throughout the world. It's originally a Russian word, as you should probably know, but it's been given from everything to the satyr to Native American wolf skin wearers to the berserker. It has been associated with entheogen use, psychonauticism, and the use of altered mental states to experience heaven within reality. Shamans are usually associated with the trial of death and the trial of becoming an adult. They're associated with rituals and passage of life. They are basically our primordial guidance counselors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which in Morrowind they definitely explore that quite a bit with explaining all the prophecies to you and having a strict way of doing it.
No.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
But actually, at one point for my tabletop game, I was really trying to look for. It's really hard to buy this stuff. If you've never heard of kumis, Kumis is a Mongolian alcoholic beverage. It's very traditional in Mongolia, and it's basically fermented mare's milk. Because mare's milk has a higher percentage of sugars, complex sugars, which, when fermented, break down into more alcohol. You
Oh
can
man,
you can do it with
Ooh.
cow's milk, but there's less sugar in the
that's
cow's
a
milk.
hangover.
So,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
so what they do is they take their mare's milk, because they rely so much on horses, right? They take their mare's milk, they put it in like a ceramic pot, they bury it for 3 or 4 months until they come back around the next season.
Wow, really ceramic?
I
mean, I'm
don't really
visualizing it in my head. It just I can't think of anything but of all those pots that we see and you know.
I mean, maybe ceramic is the wrong word, but some kind of sculpted pot.
Let's say pottery.
Yeah, a pot.
That works.
They seal it in the pot, they bury it for a few months, come back to it, and when they pull it back up, they shave off the curd, and then there's your kumis. And I tried looking for a long time, trying to find a place in Mongolia, China, Russia that would export kumis, so that I could have it here and I could give it to my players and be like, oh, yes, this is what they offer you.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
just
I wonder
to
if we can write a throat song for the Dunmer Ashlanders. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, we just need someone to sing it.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm capable.
I like to think that it's the Argonians that do throat singing.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
They get the neck pouches like frogs, and that's their spiritual slave songs.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole other conversation there. If you don't know about like African American spiritual songs,
like if you notice, if you go far back into Egyptian lore, which just really fucks me up with Elsewhere, it's why I'm so interested in it. If you go far back enough into Egyptian lore, you can find almost any Proto-Indo-European god in their animal clothing over there. It's really insane.
Yeah,
like, and they're even been crowned as kings and as pharaohs. So it's like there's another beat with it for us, you know. It's very interesting.
So I don't know if that kind of tickles that Ashlander itch at all there. I mean, you tell me, Johnny.
Wasn't it Ethos who brought that up?
Was it Ethos? I don't remember.
Oh well.
Cheers.
I like it. Oh, I drank my beer, but cheers.
Oh, I just got this glass the other day.
Nice glass.
I was at Ghost Fish Brewery.
Oh, nice.
Seattle.
Is that blue wine?
No. This is an imperial stout.
Oh,
okay.
I like Irish dry stout. But
I'll be right back.
Of course. To each his own, of course.
Yeah.
What do you think? Wait. Yeah. If we're on alcohol, what do you think each of the 10 races favor to drink? If we were going by stereotypes.
Well, we know a lot about the Dunmer, just because Morrowind. We have Mazte, we have Flynn. Well, Flynn is actually an imperial. Well, the Flynn comes from Cyrodiil, so that's some kind of a liquor. I imagine it's some kind of like strong wine. We've got Mazte, Sujama is another one.
Yeah, that was my first and favorite, of course.
Yeah, which I feel like Mazte is kind of like a sake. And then,
only maybe I was thinking like sake from cranberries for some reason, because I feel like you'd have this weird bitter aftertaste.
Well, I imagine it's made with salt rice instead of rice, so it has almost a salty kind of flavor.
That would go well with it. Yeah, holy crap.
Which may be a bit like cranberry, sort of. I imagine a little more tart, and then they add that together.
Oh, that's perfect.
and makes like a sour sort of salt rice wine.
Tangy, yeah, that'd be
Which,
perfect for them,
let's
right?
see, Lore Mazte. What can we find about Mazte? I'd say cheap, plentiful, somewhat invigorating, very popular produced from fermented salt rice. Hey, look at that. So yeah, fermented salt rice. So that's yeah, it's sake basically. And then I imagine Sujama. Let's see what the Wikia says about Sujama. Highly regarded for extreme potency.
Oh, look at that.
We should.
You look a lot like Mirage.
I want. What are you guys talking about? Sorry.
We're talking about alcohol in the other scrolls, which you know,
I would
two
like.
topics near and dear to my heart.
This is one of the reasons I want to get the.
Here, Ultima, I'm gonna mute you here. We've got a lot of feedback coming from you. No hard feelings, bro. There we go. Okay, what's that, Matt?
Oh, this is one the reason I want to get the cookbook for the fucking lore. I know.
Yeah, I need to pick one of those up next time I'm at Barnes and Noble. I'm sure they'll have one.
Does anybody find it weird that Morrowind only found it fit to enslave the Suthe rate? I mean, I know it was a gameplay limitation, but it's becoming kind of weird that we're only seeing one type of Khajiit per game until the ESO. How is that going to affect the next one?
Yeah, that's really how it's been in every game.
Morrowind has multiple types, no? At least for certain NPCs.
They're all Suthe, because with the digitigrade feat, unless you get a mod that adds a separate race, where they walk upright like a man or a mer. And so they basically use the same skeletal model in Khajiit and in Argonia.
Yeah, but hopefully elsewhere will change that.
Yeah, so we got Sutherat
willing.
in Morrowind. We got just Suthe, I think, in Oblivion.
I don't think do we have Suthe Rot in Morrowind, or is it just Suthe? Because they're small.
I would have to look to.
I'm pretty sure they've all been Suthe.
Not all rat race breeds are small. Are larger actually.
No. But anyway, back to the alcohol discussion. It doesn't say what Sujama is made from, but I would imagine that's more of a. So what are some other crops that are popular in Morrowind? We got marshmallow, salt rice, marshmallow, salt rice.
Yeah.
There's an alcoholic version of skooma.
No, I think this is made with ash yams.
Are ash yams from Solstheim only?
No, ash yams are all over Morrowind, especially towards Lake Amaya. That area there. Lots and lots of ash yams.
Who wants to bet Alto wine tastes like sherry?
I'm down with that.
Works for me. Good news in alcohol. I got some more because my girlfriend doesn't like this shit, but I do.
See, I always figured, like when I was a kid, and I'd go up to Solstheim in Morrowind, and I'd take the mead or whatever, based on what like the Nords said about it. I always assumed it was something, kind of dark and hefty like this, but with honey, right? That's what I always expected. And when I first had mead, I was surprised at how kind of light and refreshing it is. Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's. I always expected it to be sweet, and I love mead so much.
Yeah.
Mead. I think I have.
I'm definitely ready to talk about.
There we go.
Any Ellsbury martial arts, that's for sure. I mean, that's always been my thing. Westspring Claw, Rawlith Karj, whatever I can learn about any of those is my favorite thing to do.
I have a headcanon idea that I'm actually going to incorporate into another Khajiit interview with this same dude that he did the first interview with. I was thinking of a group of sorry, Cathay hunting party where they ride out to like this elephant plains to hunt elephants. But
Okay.
what they do is like a bunch of them ride out on centrots, like a big group of them. They all just go out to the elephant plains or whatever, and then instead of using weapons, they actually like they run out and they chase the elephants, and of course the elephants are gonna kind of run away. So they
Right.
ride out on these centrots, and then instead of using weapons, they stand on the centrots and pounce off of them onto the elephants and like
Oh my
dig.
god, you gotta incorporate Moiberon with that. I can totally see some Tony Jaa like action with that. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of like they jump on the elephant, dig their claws into their necks, and just like slit their throats and just bring them down and kind of bleed them out, and then they'll use sharpened tools to cut the meat and cut off their ivory and use every part of the animal the
Yeah,
same
of
way
course.
Savage.
Natives Americans would use every part of the buffalo and
Yeah.
just they have like
I
ceremonial
can
weapons they'd use. Well, not
imagine they
weapons.
would save like the young ones and send them into traders so that people could have like elephant mounts on in cities
Oh
like
yeah,
Florence.
non-combat pets for sure. Yeah, and then I was thinking actually it's going to be a fun interview because um the Imperial guy, he's an outsider. He's like a beast folk um ethnologist who becomes part of the tribe to learn about them. Like same way a cultural anthropologist does with real human tribes. But in order to kind of gain the respect and get this Cathay Rot to tell him about this stuff, he's gonna do moon sugar with the Cathay Rot, and of course the moon sugar affects the humans way more than Khajiit. So they're gonna be just like high as fuck on moon sugar while he
Which means
Okay.
you
explains it.
can write whatever.
Yeah, but he's
Just
gonna
like
be
me.
honest.
Cool.
But it's gonna be cool for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, so look forward to that. And hopefully my ideas don't get too retconned in the next update.
If it gets, you can just blame the moon sugar.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe the unreliable narrator, maybe he was just making shit up.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I'm gonna give you this straight. Unreliable narrator gives me a job, but I
Yep.
love it. I love it. But it's kind of like your first Zen koan. You got to get past this to be able to really get into it. I feel.
Have you
But
guys?
once you're able to get past unreliable narrator, you're able to find your truths and everything too. It's kind of this
Hmm.
weird paradox.
Well, it's just like real life. Like everyone
Speaking
tells you
of
the
Yeah.
truth
Khajiit,
from their perspective. Sorry, Matt.
hello.
Go for it. Go for it, Matt.
Speaking of Khajiit and unreliable narrators, have you guys read the? I think it's the Tale of Drozira. It's
Mm.
the Khajiit take on the Battle of Red Mountain.
Oh no, I haven't heard this.
It's a book you can find in Dragon Bard. It's so ridiculous. It's transcribed from memory
So how will they
by
climb
a
it to the
guy
moon?
who heard the ramblings of another Khajiit that was in the other room who was high on skooma.
Really?
Yes, and it's fucking hilarious. There's like a Khajiit riding on a giant lion in the Battle of Red Mountain.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Wolfheart is there, and he moves the moons by shouting.
That's too cool. We need more literature written while high in the Elder Scrolls.
Just ask me anytime.
Just the thought of
That's awesome.
Wolfheart's
I mean,
screaming on the
honestly,
moons
if you
and making the
meditate well
moons
enough, you can get there.
hilarious.
Yeah, when the moon is just right.
Watch not the finger pointing at the moon, or you will miss all of its heavenly glory.
Yep.
And someone was talking about chunks of meat, so I had to go and get some chunks of meat in my own.
Oh yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I love that quote from Enter the Dragon when he's talking to the student. Yeah, I use that quote all the time actually.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of that into the geek culture that they snuck in.
Oh
Because there's
yeah,
all this
they
Buddhism about the moon that you can't really get that with Azora because there's always a sun involved, and then there's always the dualism, and that kind of just goes back to Taoism, and it's kind of weird. But when you get back to Elsewhere, there's just so much randomness that it's
Khajiit
weird.
are very Asian in some ways.
Yeah,
I get a Hindu, Buddhist vibe from them, Tibetan even.
yeah, definitely. That's probably one of the they're my newfound favorite race. Used to be Bosmer, but I didn't even know any of their lore. And then Dunmer when I found out lore, but now
My
Khajiit
favorite
has stole my
races
heart.
are my favorite races are Nords, Dunmer, Khajiit, and Bosmer.
In that order?
Knowing just, I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Dunmer. Oh, what a surprise!
Well, I
But
mean,
right.
Morrowind is pretty damn good.
but I
Mastering the
like all
symbols,
of them.
man.
Yeah,
But Dunmer and Nords are definitely my favorite men and humans, elves and humans.
well, Redguards kind of have a lot of hidden history,
Oh, the
which,
Red Guards are cool. Don't get me wrong.
fair enough. Yeah, to each their own. I'm
Need
hoping that,
more load. More
I'm
load.
gonna moonwalk at
yeah,
strange
Morse
angles.
load. There's a slowed in a Merkmeyer book.
Here comes the apotheosis.
I hope in the next Elder Scrolls we hear about more Redguard stuff, ancient history. I've heard a little bird say it may be about Redguards, but
We will.
We've all heard that.
oh heck yeah.
Maybe
We will.
Ebonard, guys?
I
Hope
don't know
so.
what
Bring
the
him back for Elder Scrolls 6.
I'm confident.
I don't know what it'll be. I hope it to be Hammerfell, but I don't
I
know
think
what the
it's going
next
to.
game will be.
In my dreams, I hope it's going to be the Iliac Bay.
It's gonna be Hammerfell.
It's going to be Daggerfell.
I know that from a specific source.
Oh well, that's good. They have a lot of stuff that I want to hear about.
And then a
Sword
High
singing,
Rock
baby.
DLC.
I'm happy to go anywhere with a painting and a parrying system. That's really all they need to do to take their game to the next level. Just add a simple update to combat. That's really it. Simple updates to new fields so people can adapt their character in a totally different
Speaking of
frame.
new
That's all they
stuff,
need.
Yeah, they could really add some combat animations.
after
Like not even many.
2019,
You need like five more, man. It's not even that many more they need.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like
they just need to take some advice from like Assassin's Creed or
from software.
that's a
anything really.
perfect. Yeah,
Matt, what are you saying?
I think
Bethesda
just
needs
a
to take
simple
some
vault button.
advice from software.
I think, yeah, I know it's weird software, but if it can be programmed like for certain objects to have a certain code in them, for example, a gate or a barricade or a post or a wall, and level designers who have this in mind, all you can do is implement these little shorts and gaps that you can use to get away from the police by jumping over them, like on a post onto a fence or something like that, using your simple jumping button and having the perk to be able to jump. Like that's all you would need. Like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and if they had more variation with racial differences, that would be really cool. Instead of just
yeah.
a racial power, like
So,
Well, with
so
Khajiit,
guys,
you can use your claws, maybe.
guys,
Like, if you're a
guys,
Bosmer, you can wall run. I don't know.
Climbing.
guys.
Climbing confirmed for Elder
yeah,
Scrolls 6.
yeah. What are you saying, Andrew?
Well, Matt had a question he was trying to ask.
Okay.
Ooh,
I was trying to hear it.
We're
I
all
didn't
yours,
have a
Matt.
question. I
Uh,
didn't have a question.
Well, you were trying to say something. I couldn't hear what it was.
Yeah, but it got lost in the
Oh, sorry, Matt.
or something.
Mm.
Uh,
I mixed some maple syrup in with my barbecue sauce.
oh yeah, I remember. Speaking of new stuff, what new zones would you like ESO to tackle in the future?
Hmm.
I want mainland Morrowind, but that eastern peninsula.
I
Yes.
have two major ones.
Yeah.
ESO Piandonia. Is that how you say it?
Hmm.
Pound the nap.
Yeah, for the next chapter, the Piandonia Island.
I got
Hmm.
it.
Where is that?
It's
It's the land of the Maormer,
yeah, far to the south of
south of Somerset.
yeah.
And who are the Malamur again?
The sea elves.
Sea elves.
Oh,
The
cool.
elves
Yeah,
that look like fish.
Fish
that would
elf.
be sweet.
Supposedly their king is like an Aldmer.
Yeah, King Ordnum.
Would they be
He's
like
supposedly
the?
from the Meretic era and he's an Aldmer. And he's immortal.
Do you think they'd be similar to the Zora from Zelda?
No, but they're
No,
already in the game.
we've seen that in game. They're just elves, but they have like this
Yeah,
gray fish like
they basically have scales.
Do they
and
have
some
gills?
scales. And gills, yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, underwater cities would be dope.
No, they don't live underwater, but they have fish-like characteristics.
Oh God, I just had
I
a
don't think
flashback.
they live underwater.
I just had flashback to the Selkath from Knights of the Old Republic. Sadly, worst
Guys,
place ever.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So I really want to see this area here of Morrowind. So like Necrom being a major hub, or I want to see Blacklight in the southern area of Western Morrowind.
Nice.
Those are the,
Yeah.
You know
those are the only
what I
parts I
think
want.
they're going to do eventually? For 2021 even? I
Do you
think they're
think-
going to go with Skyrim. Like Whiterun.
Yeah.
Or
To
do
fill
like
their fan base.
or get like Solitude filled in.
They're probably going to do that for like Skyrim's 10th year anniversary.
Oh man.
Do you think they'll do the whole map eventually?
Yes.
I hope so.
I think
Do you
I
think?
think they will eventually have most of Tenriel with like small gaps here and there that nobody cares about.
Okay, here's a follow-up question. Do you think if they ever do Akavir, would it be in an Elder Scrolls main game or an Elder Scrolls Online first?
I think they'll never go to other continents.
Yeah.
That's sad.
But although
It would be so cool because it has
Lemon
Japanese
Girdle,
influence.
Lemon actually said he would love to explore Yokuga.
Yeah, he did. Although he did make a point of mentioning that there's no there are no plans for that as of yet.
Yeah.
Imagine if Elder Scrolls 6 is in Hammerfell, you go to the ruins of Yokuda for like the final quest.
That would be, yeah. That's what I hope. But
Or like-
it's almost
Just like you go to Sovngarde in Skyrim.
Yeah, or in Skyrim when you have the flashbacks to get
yeah.
forget that spell
And
where you
Fallout 4,
call
if
them
we're gonna
down.
go out of the series into
Dragonlance.
production.
Yeah, Dragon Red when you have to go back in time.
Going back in time to learn the Kratos sword.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry, forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you know, it'd be great though, as if going back in time, you see the conflict between Cyrus the Restless and Vivek.
Anything,
some kind
Vivek,
of
please.
motto.
I'd sell my soul for that.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. If we could see some Dwemer stuff when they were still alive, come on, give it
I
to
don't
me.
want to see that.
Nah, me either.
No,
No,
We haven't.
well,
We have three Dwemer,
they're
three Dwemer in game,
yeah,
well, their role is to be mysterious.
that's
and we've
true.
had like the Dwemer Ghost in Tribunal
Hmm.
and the Dwemer in ESO.
What's his name?
They're there.
Razak Stung Thumbs or something.
And
Yeah,
Ash vampires, it's my head canon that they're Dwemer.
there's a fucking awesome, totally not Dwemer character in ESO. He's like a cyborg and he's strapped to an
Yeah,
iron throne.
which I think in the Selectives Lorecast we came to the realization that he was an exiled Clockwork Apostle.
Really?
Yeah, it seemed pretty clear. Look, I mean, judging going off of his name and yeah,
Huh.
Oh, Ethos is gone.
Again. He'll be back.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you mind if I switch the subject, but without
not
totally switching it?
not at all.
Sure. Go for it.
Well, Helena Whitestrake or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
So is it pretty much confirmed he is a Terminator?
No.
No, it's not
No,
confirmed
no, but
because
that's leading theory.
um,
No.
for people who appreciate Kirkbride's take on the lore, yes.
Because there's
I
some
know and I don't.
evidence.
I like Kirkbride's take, but I don't think he's a literal cyborg.
No, but do you think he came from a different
From a, like
timeline or
from
something?
that's a possibility.
I
If you
think
go
he could have been.
alternatively, it's just that his armor and his weapons are from the future.
But when he like bites
Oh.
that guy's neck, doesn't he scream out
Well,
Remen?
Yeah, because he doesn't see time linearly. That's
there's
the point they make with Pellinal stuff.
there's a few things. His armor is futuristic. He's got a hole in his chest with a blinding red light, which many believe to
Yeah,
be
it's the
the
diamond
Kim. Oh, hold on, who many believe to be the Kim El
Kinelabal.
Adabal. His hand is made of a killing light. He's got a lightsaber.
Yeah.
No,
Is the thought?
It's a
Oh, you're
camera.
talking about the Shahai, the Ansei Shahai, huh?
No, we're
Nope.
talking about Pellinal.
Oh,
Helena
Pellinal
Whitestrake.
Whitestrake, yeah.
shit!
And then
You're good.
and then when beheaded, he continued to speak.
Yeah, Pellinal is another.
Yeah, that's fishy
He's
to me.
He's the Star Made Knight.
Yep.
Star as in a soul. Just like the Dominion is a walking star.
I like my Pellinal, my prototype, extra liminal internernian assault lattice.
Oh, that's him. I remember that guy.
Yep. Actually, I'll even type it out in chat here.
So, do you think he could have been from a timeline where like the elves fuck shit up and just kill everyone and try to exterminate everyone? So then he goes back in time before the timeline went that way to try to
He's
kill all
from
the
the
elves
King
to
Mule
stop that.
timeline. He's
I
from
don't
the
know.
King Mule timeline, maybe.
Yeah.
There's another take.
That's very claim Soleil for me. I always found that really weird to have a parallel between him and Nuatha. With the blinding sort of white light, it's almost like Kirkbride wants us to start making guesses that's extra cultural for him. It's really weird. I don't know if that can be applied or if it's just part of his, diamond bright brilliance. What do you think that has to do with him going to Alzvir as well? Do you know anything about like Alkosh shouting him out? Is anything
Yeah,
being said about that?
I don't know anything about that.
All we know is that Pellinal went in the Meretic era. He went to elsewhere to kill Khajiit because he thought they were elves. And then
they join the
Alkosh,
elves all the time.
and then Alkosh himself showed up and he shouted Pelinal out of elsewhere, and that broke time.
Hmm.
And
Did it
the
make a time
remnants of the and even in ESO's time, the remnants of Alkosh's health still affect time. There's like a time breach.
Yeah, that's in the one of the trials.
Yeah, they build a giant temple around it.
Yep.
It's like a place of pilgrimage. Khajiit
Got it.
walk to go to that place to see the time breach.
I guess I'm destined to go there with Javir.
No, the trials are 12-man dungeons.
Nice. I have to
So,
build my guild up.
no, I had to join a guild specifically to do trials.
Yeah, it's yeah. I need to level up.
Which I'm max champion points. I'm 810. Although
Wow.
really I'm like 825. Just I don't get the points for that.
I think I'm 250 something, but it's easy to get champion points once you're up there.
Right.
Yep.
Feel free to add me, anybody. I'm Toasty the Tyrant, one word, on the North American server.
Okay. I don't. My computer can't run it yet, so I'm waiting for a better one to play it on PC. Right now I have it somewhere in the back of my PS4 as well. But if
Oh
anybody
yeah.
has it on there, it's worth bringing it out for that. So yeah.
I know Mac plays on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So does Michael Ziegler.
Yeah,
mean,
I wish I could play with them.
I'll probably update the computer in time for Hammerfell, especially if I'm going to be staying with y'all. So I feel like, yeah, I'll probably be able to play ASO on the new computer. Yeah, it's just
Nice.
I gotta save up a lot more. I'm trying to like fly a nest, but anyway, yeah,
Nice. Well, you gotta get it by elsewhere. But you got some
yeah,
time.
of course. Yeah, I already have everything from like Morrowind. I actually have a house. You know, I'm a big on role play and stuff, so I kind of like doing that. I kind of bought a
Yep.
lot of stuff for my house, a lot of stuff for customizing my characters in there. I got a bunch of DLC too. Everything I thought it would be appropriate. You know, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I've been around town just looking and exploring and looking at all the architecture and trying to analyze everything I could read and everything, sermons, you know, everything. But I haven't played it in a minute because I haven't found anybody to play it with. So it was weird.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a lot better when you got people to play with.
Yeah.
Any other topics you guys want to bring up?
I'm thinking. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, next issue of the Tullamore Independent Press comes out on Wednesday.
Oh,
I've got most of this issue put together. I just gotta get. I think I may have to add a couple pages. Since I wasn't sure I'd get it for this issue, but we've got an interview with Lehman Tuttle, the new lore master for ESO.
I'm very excited for
He
that.
was
That's cool.
he was gracious enough to answer my questions. And Gina Bruno, one of the what's she like, public relations ladies. She's very nice and very helpful with getting me where I needed to go. She was really my point guy on a lot of that.
Was she in the the video interview that ZeniMax did with Lehman?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she was in that.
Was she the red hair or blonde?
She's the younger gal.
Oh
the
yeah.
other one who's a little older. She's got glasses. That's Jessica Folsom. I emailed her
Yeah.
too, but never got response.
Yeah. Oh
but
yes, they both seem very nice.
Yeah, Gina Bruno has been very very helpful. But I'm hoping that once I have this issue finished and it's all published, I'm gonna send it to her, and they may do a shout out on Twitter about it, which may bring us some more people here. So
Yeah.
that'll be. I'm excited for that. So.
Yeah. The whole Dream Sleeve thing is pretty cool. Like both the lore and this group. I'm very thankful to have found it.
Good, me too.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy talking about past lore and various groups.
Yeah. It's cool not just being all in your head about it. Being able to talk about it too.
Well, did anyone else have anything that they wanted to talk about? As I mean, we've been going for about an hour and a half or so. So
Not really.
Unless we have something else, I mean, we can probably end the stream there.
I think we can end the stream. It wasn't very talkative today because
we just didn't have any people. I mean,
people really.
Well, it was my fault because I had a thing I was doing yesterday, and
it's okay.
I totally gapped it. But
yeah, well, it's been a good one.
All right, well, goodbye, internet. We're gonna go now.
See y'all in a week or less than a week, maybe.
Whatever.